This is Coop from the 7773 Foundation, and you're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where it's two guys' take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the Busted Knuckles studio right here in beautiful downtown historic Concord, North Carolina. Of course, I'll be your host, Biggin, and how about you? We've got a great show lined up for you, as always, but before we begin, let me introduce you to the second half of this flaky biscuit. That's right, I'm talking about the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, but most of you probably know him best as the Silver Tongue won 2016's Honorable Mention Father of the Year, the inventor of the Redneck Egg Roll. Give it up on old Mike number one. It's Mojo! How about you, buddy?
Coming in hotter than a Krispy Kreme just opened up, grand opening.
Woohoo!
Finally, that's the first one in our area.
How about you, buddy?
I have to drive 45 minutes, so yeah. That's awesome.
You're so much happier.
I am. Krispy Kreme, you get all your favorites. I got all my favorites.
Okay.
Krispy Kreme, Chick-fil-A. They're pretty much in the same parking lot, so that's actually good times right there. So anyway, we appreciate everyone for tuning in as always. You can go to our Facebook page at Southern Fried Philosophy, our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. You can check us out on the YouTube at youtube.com/SFP Radio if you want to play it in the background while you're on your computer pretending to actually work. That works. You can find us at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere that you will download a podcast to. That's pretty much where you can find us. So just go there, give us a like, a subscribe, a share. We appreciate all the new listeners we've been picking up in the last few weeks. We enjoy that. We enjoy getting feedback on our content, always how to improve. So anyway, we appreciate you tuning in.
I do appreciate the person that says to improve your show, stop doing the show. Way to go, guy. Appreciate you. Hey, we want to say if you want us to keep this show content going and make it even better than beyond your wildest dreams, help the show going and be part of our Patreon link. You can, or our Patreon family. You can see the link on our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. There you can sign up to be a Life, Liberty, or Gravy member tier. Each one of those things gets you something different, but we want to bring you better content, get some more microphones, get some good things going, and be able to do the show more often, which that would be our dream to do this 5 days a week. So if you want to join the SFP family, go to patreon.com/SFP Radio. If you also want to hang out with us, you can shoot us an email at sfpradio@gmail.com. And you yourself could be sitting in the Bad Mother Smokers smoking hot seats right here in studio with us. You can hang out with us, have a nice water, a hug, things of that nature.
And a heads up, we might actually go to Krispy Kreme.
We might right after the show. Want to also say you could check us out at States Vegas Radio. Right now we are Monday at 6 o'clock, Friday at 4 o'clock, so you could check us out there. Download their app. If you download their app and use the promo code MOJO, you get it for free. So fantastic. Also, just want to say if you had some technical difficulties picking up the show this past week, our apologies. We were switching our provider and our host, so everything should be back ready to go. So should be good. No problems with that.
Yeah, I'm not that tech savvy, so of course you got the message from me. Hey, what's going on here? So.
Hey, buddy, where's the show? Whoops. So you should be good. So everything should be coming across with for Facebook, Twitters, the Instagrams, and also want to say YouTube is now up and running. Our shows are not in order, so just for fun, just
it don't matter.
Slide down and see what you see.
Just go by the number.
Pick one and go from there. But YouTube is back up and running, so you can check those out.
Yeah, I think the biggest one was Spotify and iHeart. I think that was the one that took a little time to get switched over. So yeah.
So there we go. We're rolling on that. Our podcast question of the week is: what is the food that you can't live without? Do you have a food besides the Krispy Kreme donuts that you can't? Can't live without?
I have to kind of look at a food that I probably possibly could eat every day.
Right. Yeah.
And not get tired of it. So, for me, it kind of narrowed down to three different things.
Okay.
And I'd have to narrow them down from that. But a cheeseburger,
Okay.
pizza,
Yep.
and Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
So between those three, and I did live off of a diet for Chick-fil-A probably 6 days a week. So for a while, probably I'd have to say a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger is yours.
Yours?
The food that I can't live without, it's not so much like I could eat this every day, but if I didn't have it, then I would just be like, if I could not get access to it, I would like go insane. Biscuit and gravy. I think that's kind of
a good one.
There are a lot of people saying bread, peanut butter, cheeseburgers, but most of them were pizza. Mm-hmm. I wonder why pizza is just like everybody's go-to. You mentioned pizza.
I think it's a comfort food, just like the three I've mentioned are my three comforts. Mm-hmm. I think pizza also is portable. It's easy to eat. It's good hot or cold.
Yeah.
It's good sitting in the box 8 hours later when you remember it's sitting there. So, I mean, it's good all the way around.
Yeah. Melissa said liver mush.
I think she may have misread the question. What's the one food you can live without?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I phrased that wrong. I can't. I've never had the liver mush.
I have.
What are your thoughts?
It's not my cup of tea. No. I mean, it's like like how sausage has that kind of texture, real firm. Mm-hmm. Liver mush is kind of like not that. It's like eating fried butter.
Maybe that's what I got when I went through the Chick-fil-A and I ordered the sausage biscuits because that thing is as flimsy as all get out.
It could possibly be.
It is awful. All right.
I can also live without liver mush. That stuff. I mean, it's not bad. It's acquired taste, I think, but it's big here in North Carolina.
Hey, buddy, it's in that special wrapper. Mm-hmm. That wax paper.
Yeah,
everybody loves it.
Yeah,
well, most people. All right, so just also want to say our upcoming guest, we have Cities for Life. Do you want to kind of talk about?
We have the director, Daniel Parks, will be on. Cities for Life is kind of like one of these organizations that we kind of feel, I feel, is doing. They're actually putting the feet and hands into motion, where like I'm unabashedly pro-life. Mm-hmm. I've said that countless times. I've probably pissed a few people off, but Cities for Life is one of these organizations that actually gets out there, and they're not out there kind of like Josh Brom with Equal Rights Institute. They're not getting out there with the grotesque photos and things like that, trying to shame people.
They're not Westboro Baptist.
But Cities for Life goes above and beyond that. They offer free ultrasounds right there in the parking lot or adjacent to the abortion clinics. But also not only that, though, they actually help the mothers. So this past 2 weeks ago, they had a mother who had just given birth. And they got so hot here in the South,
Sure.
And I think her air conditioner went out, so they put a call out. Hey, we're looking for people to help donate an air conditioning unit or money. Mm-hmm. So they're actually, they're walking with these women, meeting them where they are, and kind of going from there. So
awesome.
I think they're doing good work.
Cool. Awesome. Mojo, I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week, how you be doing?
I think we're here in season 13 of the weather. So we're in our first fake fall.
In season 3 of Stranger Things.
I actually finished that, but So we're in our first fake fall, which will be followed by our fourth purgatory of summer. So we got a little ways to go, but so it feels good this week.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, enjoying it.
We're not sweltering. So anyway, how you be doing?
So I also want to follow up with you. Our church does a thing called Hymns and Hops, where we go to a brewery and then we just sing hymns, like old-fashioned hymns. Yeah. Have somebody lead. There's a little message and whatnot. But on the How You Be Doing, some people weren't doing so well this week because this is the first time, evidently, we got protesters.
That's good.
How about you?
I think negative publicity is good. So I would probably address this different than our pastor, just because I came from a church where I came from very I mean, I grew up in the church three times a week, you know, and then if the church had a special event, you're there. And now I won't split hairs with theology on people like this because, you know, we all have our place. But I think that, you know, what I came from a very staunch denomination that had no leeway in either way, except for certain things like you could be sleeping with the choir director's wife, but you couldn't drink alcohol. You know, that was one of those things. There was hard and fast rules, and one of those was alcohol.
One of the Buzz Babylon Bee was saying that the morbidly obese pastor denounces alcohol and saying that's a sin.
That's very appropriate.
There you go.
So, yeah, I guess this past week we had a couple protesters that came out there to protest what we're doing. And, you know, all alcoholics are going to hell and beer drinkers are going to – I don't know if they had their signs set. They weren't there by the time I got there.
Okay.
But, we had a couple protesters out there promoting the event. I say more the merrier because that's the bigger the event's going to get.
Right.
So, hey, calling all weirdos in Concord, Kannapolis, North Mecklenburg County, if you want to come out and protest the next one, I'll post it on our Facebook page.
Come on with it. Yeah, we did a bad job of promoting that. So, you asked how I was doing. My wife is fantastic. I love her so incredibly much. She knows when I need a break. And between you and I, I'm a pretty hardcore introvert.
Okay.
Most people don't know that. They think, oh, you have a radio show. You must be an extrovert. I'm not really. I like to huddle in my house and just be there and watch paint dry. I'm that guy. But she's like, you need a break. I'm going to take the kid and we're going to go down to South Georgia and just let you have some you time. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I'm like, all right, well, I've got a free weekend. What am I going to do? And then all of a sudden the calendar starts getting loaded with different things like, oh, I want to do this with this guy. I want to go do this. So ended up Friday, I had dinner with Jeremy White.
How'd that go?
That was fantastic.
Where'd you guys go?
Carrabba's.
Jeremy.
I know, buddy. I was let him pick. Let him do his thing. He wants Carrabba's. Let's make it happen, Captain. By the way, do not get the lobster ravioli.
Not good.
Yeah, it had a lot to be desired. So had the lobster ravioli, but a good time with Jeremy. The next day I had some friends over who watched the movie Neat, the story of bourbon. Fantastic documentary on just the history and where it is, and just makes you appreciate it more. And then Sunday had a break, and then Monday had more people over at the house. Yeah. So it's like, oh well, there goes my alone time. But I did manage to stare at the wall for 3 hours straight, and that helped recharge. So it was good.
I'm now in this period of my life where I can't be still. So I don't mind being alone, but I have to be doing something.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if it's driving 10 hours, but I've got to be doing something because I get tired of myself pretty quick. So I get pretty bored easy. So so I have to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I get these moments in my life where I have to do that. And there's other times where I get to sit and watch TV for 8 hours, but I just don't have the time to do that now. But know, I don't know.
I can just sit there and just listen to the air conditioner run.
Hey, that'd be great if I could do that every once in a while.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into some wacky news brought to you by Webmerized. If you need a clean, crisp website, check out our friends at webmerized.com. That's webmerized.com. Also, check out the sponsors section of our website. Have you ever heard of cow cuddling? I
have not, but I wouldn't. I mean, if you have a therapy goat or a therapy duck, this isn't too far-fetched.
You wouldn't think that but it is the hottest trend at the moment, and experts say it's beneficial for a wellness method. Spending time with animals lowers stress levels, as reported by PubMed. Now, I don't know if that's quickly related to WebMD.com or whatever, but it's PubMed. I've never heard of it.
It's a public website that actually will host studies.
Oh.
Like, for example, when a doctor or a lab or hospital or a drug manufacturer has a study, they actually upload it to PubMed.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's actually peer reviewed. Yeah.
Well,
peer
how about
reviewed,
you?
Yeah.
All right. It's a brand new therapy that makes us remember similar programs that were popular in the past, like goat or cat yoga, like you were mentioning. Mountain Horse Farms in upstate New York, they invite visitors to try the horse and cow experience. In Kentucky, that means something completely different. They allow you to come and spend time with the large animals. You can also pet and brush them. If you don't like to play with the cows, you can cuddle with them. They say that the body temperature of cows is higher than ours and has a lower heart rate. Cuddling with them provides a relaxing experience, as explained by Mountain Horse Farms' website. It's been shown to reduce stress and help the bond with nature. So far, I'm okay with that part. Like I love cuddling with my dog. Mm-hmm. Helps reduce stress, lowers the blood pressure, whatnot. But this is where it gets a little out there. According to Mountain Horse Farms, horses and cows have a special body language to communicate with humans. They can feel your happiness, sadness, or anxiety, and these animals will respond to you without any judgment. For a 90-minute horse and cow experience, the session costs $300.
Wow.
I can think of other things that cost way less that reduces just as much stress. But
how many cheeseburgers you can buy for $300?
Well, we'll get to that story in just a second. If you like the cuddling part, you can get a 60-minute session for $75.
What a deal. If you check on Groupon, you might find it a little better bargain.
I'm thinking about a new business model, Cuddle with Biggin, for $75 an hour. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
I'm thinking you can take this hamburger home with you after you cuddle with it for one low price.
Mario Becker, he's an animal behavior expert, says that cows aren't designed to cuddle with humans.
Oh, no, you think?
Well, duh.
You think? Okay.
So, however, the Mountain Horse Farm, they explain that their cows are loved and well treated. How about you?
Get in my belly.
$75 to cuddle with a cow for an hour.
And they're probably booked.
Have you been on a farm? Like, have you realized how much they stink? The flies that are around those things?
Yeah.
Cow patties?
I wouldn't want to be on the south end of that thing receiving its daily victuals. Yeah. I just couldn't imagine doing that. Now, I mean, because cows also can be aggressive. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but I remember being trapped on a four-wheeler in a cow pasture. We were tearing through, and the couple of the cows thought we were invading their territory and became very aggressive and pushed us into a pond, like drove us into a pond. So,
holy cow! Who knew?
Yeah. So I don't think they're the best. Maybe I'll just pay my wife $75 to cuddle with me, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is normal for my wife. She's, I'm going to go cuddle with a cow. Do you know it takes a customer 3 seconds to decide whether to stay or leave your website? That's why a crisp, clean, and user-friendly website is one of the best ways to market and help and grow your business. At Webmerize Web Design, we offer that and much more. They pride themselves in offering their clients professional websites at affordable prices. Are you a small business? No problem. We can cater to small businesses by working with their clients every step of the way to meet their needs and expectations. Their number one goal is to partner with their clients to help and grow their business with a successful website. They work for every client, no matter the size. So if you'd like a great website, go to webmerize.com, webmerized.com, or you could check out their link on the sponsors link of our website. If you mention the word Biggin, you'll get 10% off your website design order. Again, webmerize.com. Check them out. All right. Well, speaking of, have you heard that that there's a mysterious In-N-Out burger that was found in Queens, 1,500 miles from its home?
Oh, boy.
I have
not.
Perfectly placed In-N-Out burger was in an abandoned parking lot in Queens, New York. Just on a whim, like just randomly put in
a pop-up tent or something?
No, just the burger.
Oh.
It was wrapped perfectly. It was a double cheeseburger. And it had the lettuce, tomato, bun, hamburger. Everything was placed perfectly on this thing. And a couple was walking. They spotted the In-N-Out burger, took pictures of it. These folks happen to be really big fans of In-N-Out Burger. Lincoln Boehm said that he's eaten over 1,000 In-N-Out Burgers, so he knows the intricacies of said In-N-Out Burger.
He would be labeled a professional.
He said that it was put together perfectly, that it was sitting comically on its way, pointing up, but it was assembled perfectly as In-N-Out Burger's symbol is for a double hamburger, onion, hamburger. It wasn't just haphazardly put together. So these guys knew what they were doing.
But it was in the wrapper, though, right?
In the wrapper. Here's a picture of said In-N-Out Burger, just pointing up. Everything was perfect in the wrapper in a abandoned parking lot in Queens.
It's probably either a great social media guerrilla marketing thing by In-N-Out, because In-N-Out just sold, a Texas staple just sold to a conglomerate out of Chicago.
That was Whataburger?
That was Whataburger, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. So, okay, so In-N-Out, that does not explain it, but this could be a guerrilla marketing ploy, or my latest theory would be this could be a calling card for a serial killer.
Ooh.
Kind of like, So this could be that.
Denny Warnick, the vice president of operations of In-N-Out Burger, says we don't have any plans on putting another In-N-Out Burger further out west. Right now, the furthest east, is Kansas City, but they don't have any plans.
They have one in Texas
to go to New York.
They have in Dallas.
Oh, okay, yeah, the furthest east, right?
Yeah, but I think Texas is
Kansas City
because Dallas, Houston. Yeah, so Dallas and Houston are the furthest east.
Okay.
I think.
Well, this article is clearly wrong. But don't you think that that's weird? Like this guy, Boehm, said that he has tried to take home In-N-Out Burgers. And every time that he gets home, it's, all messed up.
Horrible.
He said the burger is soggy. This looks like a brand new bun. That's just weird.
Maybe they ordered the burger and had all the components separated for travel and then reassembled it.
They may have. But a weird, just normal parking lot in Queens. Like,
I bet you they will spend an absorbent amount of money like they did on investigating Trump collusion to find out the mystery of who did this. There's probably some young detective right now subpoenaing cameras and footage, recordings, whatever around the area, trying to find out who this hoaxer is.
I mean, I'm interested to see how this story turns out because I can't get a Hardee's burger halfway down the street without it falling apart. This went 1,500 miles and it's perfect. Yeah. So. Should be interesting.
I think it's got to be a marketing.
You think so? Maybe it's all of a sudden
that or the serial killer. The serial killer is probably looking at social media right now, seeing who all took pictures of this thing,
right?
And is going to create a list.
Yeah. All right. So Forever 21 is sending out diet bars with plus size orders. Forever 21's online customers have been getting packages that have been landing on their doorsteps to find that their clothing that they ordered and a diet bar that they did not order. There was a lot of plus size people that received their packages with said Atkins diet lemon bars that said, hey, what is this about? And they took to Twitter with a frenzy. And man, they're pretty upset. There's outrage for getting the Atkins lemon bar. Saying
whoever the employee was that decided to do this Forever 21, that's an expensive thing to be doing.
Right.
I mean, those things are like $3 a piece. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you put out, 50 of those things, you're in the pocket a little bit. So, yeah, but what a bad marketing thing, man. I would hate to be Forever 21, their social media marketing person. Man, that's got to be horrible.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably not a good idea, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Forever 21 did come back. Actually, is a new update that said that from time to time, Forever 21 surprises our customers with free test products from third parties and their e-commerce orders. The freebie items in question were included in all online orders across all sizes and categories for a limited time and has now been removed.
So basically what Forever 21 says, our products suck. So to encourage or to actually make money, we actually have to take on paid sponsors that we throw in crap to our shipping.
Maybe that's what
Have you seen that before? Like you order for example, you renew your AAA membership, and all of a sudden you get a packet the next day that has your cards, but also has like these things like, oh, well, your AAA membership, you can now become members of the Jelly of the Month Club, and then 2 weeks later you get something that's you need a AAA member special. You can now become Mutual of Omaha life insurance policy person, type thing. So yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Is I know Forever 21. I think they're one of those companies that's teetering on going out of business. And I'm sure they're probably taken on a paid sponsor to it where they can throw in this. But yeah, maybe they should probably be a little more selective because a lot of people are not going to take that great. So
yeah, I mean, don't you like that wasn't a good move?
No, that'd be like sending bottles of Proactive with boxes of pizza, for teenage gamers. I mean, because those guys would be needing some help in the acne department. There you go. So
I mean, but I think if it was sent to everybody, then that's one thing. And then, the old Fat Five Fat sorority or Ada Moon Pie fraternity. Sorry, we'll edit that part out. I think that they might have been taking that a little bit too close to home. Like, actually, I didn't even know Forever 21 had a plus size.
I didn't either. I thought you had to be on a heroin diet to fit in their clothes.
But clearly they do. But I guess they're taking it a little bit too personal.
Well, I know Hollister and American Eagle. You have to be on meth or heroin to wear their clothes because I've tried to fit in their jeans, say size 30, and they don't work.
Yeah.
So I barely get them over my ankle.
Props to you, Old Navy, who has the B&T section. Thank you, because I'm able to wear pants. All right, so let's go to some hot topics brought to you by Watchman Cigars. Hey, we've had a couple of these past weeks. Watchman Cigars, fantastic cigars, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got to try his new Habano.
Yeah,
he's been talking about that one for a while, and I'm hardcore on his signature cognac cigar, but. This week he forgot my signature, and I think he did it on purpose.
Probably.
So yeah, I got to try the Habano, and man, it lasted a long time and great smoke.
Yeah, was it spicy?
It had a little bit of peppery on the finish on the tail end of it. Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Well, if you want to check out a Watchman cigar, check out our sponsors link on our website or Watchman Cigars LLC at Yahoo or Watchman Cigars _ 1991 at yahoo.com. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way because we're going to need that this week. The views and opinions of Southern Fried Philosophy are not necessarily those of our guests, sponsors, or friends of the show, but they should be. All right, so you wanted to talk about a few items. One, manhole covers will no longer be called manholes.
Yeah,
boy, that sounds wrong, doesn't it?
It does. So the city of Berkeley in California just voted, the city council there just voted to take away possibly gender terms that are used for anything with city codes, city words. For example, manhole will now be called maintenance hole.
Which I kind of, like, maintenance hole sounds a little bit better than manhole. I'll be honest with you.
Why didn't you just call it glory hole?
Oh, boy.
But there's other things. Manpower will now be called human effort.
It's not horrible.
Come on. These are terms that have been part of our nomenclature for hundreds of years, and we're changing stuff. It's just – and there's nothing offensive to it. I doubt if there's a maintenance worker going, hey, I need manpower over here, I'm sure she didn't take offense to it. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, they're getting rid of terms like he and she. So they're going to be going into they.
See, that's where I draw the line, and that's what I need some help on. If you want to like change it and do Z or Shem or whatever, I don't really even have a problem with that. But when you go from singular to now plural, now you're just throwing all the rules out the window.
There is no rules.
Make any sense.
There is no rules.
When the English language is now completely screwed up. Now you're at they. I can't refer to you as they because that's two of you, not just one of you. That's where I get frustrated.
But yeah, see, I just don't understand how. I don't know. My common sense, spidey sense, just it flares up. I just don't understand how we go from changing terms like policeman. Policewoman, now I think they're going to change even that term. I had a list of terms that they actually had changed, but I can't find that current article right now. But I don't understand how we have to have these just gender neutral terms now. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I think we're uprooting language to suit a very minuscule minority who identifies as something that's not that. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's stupid. I think there's no telling how many millions of dollars Berkeley is now going to pay to change these terms on city official documents to if it's anywhere on buildings, signs. I mean, there's just no telling how much, like I said, how much money they're going to spend now. It just doesn't make sense.
The municipal code currently, they say, contains mostly masculine pronouns. The Office of City Manager said in a letter to the mayor and city council, having male-centric municipal codes is inaccurate and not reflective of our reality. Women and non-binary individuals are just as entitled to accurate representation. Our laws are for everyone, and our municipal code should reflect that. At the end of the day, I'm not going to die on this hill. If you want to say Z, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, what is it going to do? It's not going to impact my life.
Sure.
Whatever. I do get frustrated when it's they. that's the one.
I'll call you by whatever you want me to.
Sure.
But when we go back and start changing official city code, and there could be possible legal implications to this in the future, because what if a city employee accidentally review or refers to something in its previous known term in the rest of the English language?
Yeah.
Could there be implications that employee didn't use the correct terminology and be fired?
Yeah.
I mean, could they be penalized, possible prosecution, jailed? I mean, right now it's illegal to dead name anyone that's a transgender. So you can be liable and held in civil court and possibly also in criminal court too in certain cities and locales. So I don't know. This right here, just stuff like this, a banning. I mean, I think it could be a slippery slope.
It could be. At the end of the day, I don't care really, but that's just me. If they want to do that, I can maybe understand if all the terms were masculine and you wanted to say, Z to incorporate women as well. If that makes them feel included, whatever.
I'd hate to be that person to have an order. Place an order for new manhole covers, and they're trying to find maintenance hole covers in the Yellow Pages or on the Googles, and they can't find a manufacturer for that.
Or if you have to write a list of things that need to be replaced, or there's a drop down menu, now you got to change that drop down menu.
It's stupid.
It's gonna. I mean, that's a lot of work. I'll agree with you on that.
It's not. Once again, I think we're. These are. I'm not going to die on certain hills, but this is a hill that Berkeley and a lot of people are going to die on because this is the things that just really get their goat right now, and that they will be willing to sacrifice life and limb for. So this is going to be something that they will eat their own when it comes to this. So anyway, I think it's just absurd and asinine.
If you are in the market for a high-quality cigar for a very reasonable price, you must check out Watchman Cigars. Watchman Cigars is a family-owned business that puts the customer first with the best customer service in the business. Watchman Cigars offers the Habano for a full, spicy flavor, the Connecticut for a mild, easy-to-smoke option, and the Maduro for a strong, powerful experience. They even do specialty blends and partner with you to provide a custom exclusive line just for you. Watchman Cigars has all your cigar needs. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Watchman Cigars 1991 or email Leon directly at watchman_cigars@yahoo.com. That's watchman_cigars@yahoo.com, or check out the sponsors section of our website. All right, so we're going to go to our next story, and I need us to handle this, no pun intended, with kid gloves as best we can.
I got you. All right, so there's a Canadian transgender woman by the name of
Jessica Yaniv, formerly known as Jonathan Yaniv.
You can't dead name.
Formerly known.
So Jessica is a quote-unquote feminist, trans feminist, also activist, and at certain times we'll get into that in a second. Anyway, so Yaniv has filed 16 different complaints against estheticians in the past year. Now her claim argues that she's being denied access based on her gender identity and it's considered discriminatory. So what is she being denied? Well, she's contacting these estheticians, aka waxing facilities, and they will not wax her Franken beans.
So to get this straight, we have somebody that's saying, I need a wax, calling in, hey.
I need a Brazilian wax.
I need a Brazilian wax. How much is that? That's $37.50. All right.
Sure.
By the way, I've got some Franken beans we got to take care of. Wait, what? No, thank you. So that's basically how that went down.
It's the I think when I mentioned the story, it is the new baking your cake. You know, here the controversy with the Colorado baker and the California couple that would not bake a cake to someone based on their sexual orientation. So people did this, and now you have these estheticians across Canada, which Canada has a lot more strict discriminatory and First Amendment restrictions than we do.
They don't have the First Amendment in Canada.
I mean, not First Amendment, as far as reference to free speech.
Right.
So they have free speech restrictions there. So, she's filed quite a few of these lawsuits now, and they're starting to hit the court now. And she's saying that these people, these ladies, are discriminating against her based off that she's not biologically a female. Therefore, they don't want to have to perform this waxing procedure around sensitive areas that's not biologically female.
And what's happened is because of this, Marcia Da Silva, who owns the business, has now gone out of business. She had to close down because of the backlash that she was getting there. So I think that's maybe a little bit of what you were saying about the cake bake. And
but also I think another esthetician place actually paid her $2,500 in hush money to actually drop her lawsuit also. So I don't think this has to do anything with civil rights. I think this has nothing to do but with extortion and being paid money to basically go away. And I think also this individual is pretty questionable. So I think we'll probably see a lot more from this story in the next week or two, a couple weeks, where she's actually trying to do a topless only party for 12-year-olds and up.
Whoa!
At a pool.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So this is where the story got really creepy this past week. She's trying to do a topless only pool party for 12-year-old and up kids, no parents allowed.
What?
As a celebration of their sexuality. So nothing screams red flag here at all.
Right now, the 12-year-olds are going, I might get into that.
Yeah. So I'm not. This has no red flags at all.
Sure.
And
don't be worried, kids.
Don't be distracted by this. Just continue watching your YouTubes.
So. Be careful now. So I think some of the argument that I'll have, I read this article. Ironically, all the articles I looked up was from The Blaze or Christianity Today or whatever. The closest one I got to that wasn't, one of those type of websites was the Daily Mail. But it didn't say if Da Silva, who does the waxing, does that for anybody else. I based on the article, her husband didn't want her to do it because she was worried about the harassment that she already received from this person. Da Silva also said that the Brazilian wax for a male uses different wax. There's different techniques that has to be done, and she may not have. She may not have the skills to do that.
It's also could be a medical harm in that sensitive area. So
right.
That's what I think was one thing she also stated in a different manner also.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, there could be viable reasons why she doesn't. I would say that if she does that normally for guys, and she doesn't do it for transgendered, I think that would be maybe a little bit of questionable to be like, well, you do it for these guys, why don't you do it for this group of people?
Yeah, but as she is the owner of her own free will and owner of her own products of her skill, therefore you can discriminate, and discrimination is not a bad word as everyone may say it is. You have the right to discriminate who you use and practice your arts on. I mean, if a serial killer walks in and needs a cake baked, it's a known serial killer. I mean, you have the right to refuse that service to that person. Yeah. I mean, how about stores that say no shoes, no shirt, no service?
Yeah,
they're discriminating against people that have no shoes and no shirts.
Right,
but they have the right to do that.
That is true.
So I mean, you go to a bank that says no glasses and no hoodies. I mean, I wear sunglasses and a hoodie. I guess they're going to discriminate against me and my services there. So people just get up in arms about anything. And I think people like this, I mean, this Jessica Yaniv, I think she gives other transgenders a bad name. A lot of transgenders that I know want nothing to do with this type of movable politics, because this is just moving the fence post a little further. All of a sudden, next, someone like Jessica Yaniv is going to try to push the thing a little bit further, and it has nothing to do about progressing transgender, LGBTQ, IAP plus politics or civil rights. Has nothing to do with this. This is her own personal agenda. This is just like Jesse Jackson in the Push Coalition and whatever, and Reverend, or I shouldn't say Reverend, Al Sharpton and them, how they will go before companies saying, hey, you have racist policies. We now need $2.3 million to shut up. And then they get paid. They're master extortionists.
Sure. I will say I think that's a little bit different than the cake bake, because there you're celebrating their union, right? And so I think that there's a little bit difference of, hey, I want to get a wax versus religiously I'm not going to celebrate that union, or I think that that's okay. So I think that there's a little bit of, pardon the pun, but there's an apples and oranges issue that could be there just a little bit.
Maybe. I think it's all down to the interpretation, because still you're asking this baker to use their skill set, their time and their skill set to make a product.
You're right. No, 100% agree with that. But like the intention of said product may be a little bit different, is all I'm saying.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I mean, I doubt this Jessica Yaniv was trying to celebrate a kid's 6-year-old birthday party or something like that, or a union or whatever. But the intent has nothing, in my mind, the intent has nothing to do with it. Is you're basically demanding you're demanding the services of someone that has to use their time, their skill set to perform something for you, even though they have the right to say no.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like you said, again, pardon the pun, a slippery slope. So, all right. So
fall right into a manhole.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have the 7773 Foundation. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Today, I want actually just stop. Go to this website right now, 7773foundation.org. That's the numbers 7773.
Yeah, you don't spell it out.
Foundation.org. You can try to spell it out. I have no clue what that ends up with, and I don't think I want to find out.
Right.
But anyway, go to that website right now. Go ahead and bookmark that. You can also find them on the Facebooks, YouTube, Instagram, probably.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's where everybody's doing. That's what all the new kids are doing these days.
Right.
You go to that website, go to those social media platforms, and I just want you to go ahead and follow them right now. You can do that while you're listening to the podcast, but go ahead and do those.
It'll be on show notes too, so you can scroll down.
Absolutely.
And click it there,
So we have this organization on today. We have Coop. Coop is the founder of this organization, and man, I just kind of went through a brief of his bio, and I will butcher it because I don't read great.
Right.
You know, I don't have the reading and writing arithmetic skills, so we're just going to go skip that. We're going to go directly to Coop, and let's find out. So, Coop, welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming on today.
Oh yeah, it's good to be here.
So let's get into this. Your website, you are doing some great things for the North Carolina, for basically men's charities and organizations here in North Carolina for men's health and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. we won't hold it against you that you're a Tar Heel fan.
Oh, dum.
Especially before basketball season. That's kind of fighting words around here.
But you know what the good news is football comes before basketball, so we can kind of make fun of them for that one.
You can do that. But Mac is back.
Mac is back.
I didn't know UNC had a football team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little known fact.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thanks for coming on, Coop. So let's. I think I want to start out in while you're here about the organization. Let's start that, and we'll kind of back up and kind of do a little Benjamin Button interview and kind of go in reverse. So, tell us about your organization, how you got started, and what's your passion here?
How it got started was actually walking and power walking, and it turned into running a marathon. Whoever thinks they're going to run a marathon in their life?
I've never thought about that.
Right. I didn't either.
Right.
But actually, my grandmother had passed, and that got me to – that was one of the most significant persons in my life that had ever moved on. And that got me to looking at things, and I was parked up at San Francisco looking at the Golden Gate, installing one of these CNC robots. And I woke up and I started – I said, if I don't like looking at this, who is? So I started walking, and it led me. I don't know if you hold this against me or not, but I've been a Los Angeles Dodger fan my entire life since birth.
You're clear on that one. I don't have any. I don't have a dog in that fight.
Well, I am an Atlanta Braves fan.
Oh, I did not know that about you.
Die hard, but it's okay.
And anyways, I started power walking. I power walked to the BART, took the BART down to watch the Dodgers and Giants, and back and power walk again. Well, Coops is a dreaming extremist.
Okay, I like that.
So there's really no shutoff valve either. It's just wide open, full throttle. And so being a Dodger fan, I found out in 2010 that the Los Angeles Marathon was going to start at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, wow.
That brand new route going through Hollywood and end at Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, wow.
Well, I wasn't trained for it. I didn't know how to train for it. But I was then they told me you needed to train 6 months for a marathon. And it was about 3.5 months. But they weren't going to hold the marathon back or change the date for Coop.
Reschedule, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. But I was going to be a part of it because I was a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
And I did it. And once we got that one done, runner's high or whatever it is, you catch the fever. And I wanted to run another marathon that was close to when my grandmother passed. And I found that was on the island of Kauai.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my second marathon ever.
There was probably also one in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, or the Hawaii trip. So you're like, I guess we'll do the Hawaii trip.
Sure.
So and then these are, you're out running these marathons and you're trying to figure out, people are asking, why are you running them? What are you doing it for? Who's it helping? Who's it benefiting? And then you keep learning these things, and all these organizations are 501c3s to help give back. And one thing led to another, and that's how we got to the point of starting I thought we needed to start a foundation to give back.
All right. So what are we giving back to specifically? Like, is there what?
Well, it started out with the shirt that I have on here right now. It's the 100 Mile Club. What's the 100 Mile Club?
What is the 100 Mile Club?
It's in Norco, California. The founder is Kara Lubin, and she's a special education teacher that took off. You remember the 92 had the Olympics, and what she did was she took the model of the Olympics to the kids, and so the kids run, walk, or jog 100 miles in a calendar school year.
Okay.
They get to a certain level, 25, 50, 75, and at the end of the year they have a ceremony and put the medals on the kids.
Oh, wow.
And they feel like they're on top of the world, and they just get inspired. But anyways, once you meet Karen, you fall in love with her and her organization, and learning more about her organization, what she was doing, that kept leading me to the next thing.
Okay.
Well, so after we run the marathon, we got to Kauai. The next thing, I ran into a guy named Bart Yazzo. Well, Bart Yazzo is the chief running officer for Runner's World magazine, and he'd written a book. And I bought the book from him, and on the plane ride back, he had in there the 10 places you must run in the world if you're a runner. And so I found the next challenge. That was in Durban, South Africa.
Oh.
And that was 56 miles.
Holy cow.
You had to complete that in 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. And they take it very serious over there. That marathon is called Comrades, and they literally take that event over there as serious as we take the Indianapolis 500 here.
Wow.
So if there's no grace. Normally at marathons around, there's a lot of grace period.
Okay.
If you can finish, you're going to get the medal.
Okay.
Not over there in Durban.
No.
So anyways, I missed that cut. But I went back the next year and earned the medal. The following year is when I ran into Kara, and she has a 100-mile event. Starts in Norco, runs down the river trail, goes to Huntington Beach, finishes at Santa Monica Pier. 100 miles, you got to do it in 30 hours.
Okay. Grace time's a little bit more on that one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, and her race director for that event, Darren Van Soy, he had this vision of doing a race across the USA. That's Huntington Beach to the White House.
Wow.
That's from January to June. And into January to June, about 4.5 months. 6 marathons a week, rest on the 7th. Okay. Well, I had no clue how anyone even took off work for 4 months financially.
That was my question.
Yes. And so... But it was an invitation only, and it was only going to be 12 people. But the whole purpose for that event was to raise money for this 100-mile club.
Okay.
So Coop's small. He's short. He's from the small town in southern Indiana, but he doesn't think small.
Yeah.
So I'm out here in Southern California in Hawthorne at Tesla and SpaceX, and I'm installing these robotic routers at both of them places, and the light bulb goes off. Because I was raised by a contractor in Indiana where he builds houses and do roofs, and you do business with me, we do business with you kind of thing.
Sure.
So the light bulb was, well, they're paying me to put these machines in. Why don't we just give him that money back in the form of a Tesla? Take the Tesla and have people get donations for a chance to win that car to give back to others.
Okay.
So that's where that came from.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of process in between there, but before I got the Tesla, we thought we needed to have the 501c3 set.
Sure. Okay.
And I've told a lot of people what's more difficult, dribbling a basketball across the United States or putting in a Tesla sweepstakes raffle, what have you.
Uh-huh.
And it's more challenging getting this car and people entered on it than it was going across the country.
It was harder to do the 501c3 than to dribble a basketball across the entire U.S.
That's coming from Coop, and I lived it. I'm still living it.
I can imagine that.
I wouldn't even imagine. That'd be crazy.
Anytime you deal with paperwork and any type of governmental agency or office and tax code, it's got to be pretty difficult, I imagine.
So tell our listeners what is this giveaway for the Tesla? How does this work?
Well, we've been at it. We were supposed to launch it before we started dribbling across the country, but because of all the legality and making sure everything was legal, we had to put it on the back burner until we got across.
Put on the brakes, no pun intended.
But I have to tell you, the car is pretty special because, I mean, it's a car for the people to help the people, and that's what it's always been since I've had the vision. And when we went to pick up the car, I took my 2 nephews and niece, and I let them go through the orientation. And when they went through the orientation of a Tesla, they you can name the car. And the car is named Grandma Wanda after my mother that had passed. So there's a lot of sentiment in this car. And doing this kind of giveaway sweepstakes, most of these probably happen within 6 months or less. And there's been several that's come and gone amongst ours. But this is the first one we've done. And I've told our supporters and I've told everybody we run into, this is not a one and done. This is not a one and done. And how long does it take to get a college degree? 4 years, right?
Yeah.
But right now, by the time we give this car away. It's going to be 30 months. We're going to be giving it away on October the 13th.
Oh, wow.
When we'll stop, we'll pause where we're at going across the country here. We'll fly over to Maui. We'll be running the Maui Marathon. And once we dribble across the finish line, then we'll announce the winner.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Now, I'll just back up and tell you how I met Coop. So, but where Busted Knuckle is in Mooresville, he has there's an RV repair place or RV maintenance guy there, and his Tesla bus there is or it's a bus that he's going to be traveling on that has the Tesla Tesla name on the side of it, attention drawer for his foundation.
Sure.
So anyway, one day I finally see these guys out there. I'll be honest with you, I thought the thing was just probably a repo and somebody hiding it. So, because I didn't see it move. But anyway, so I finally walked up to them. I saw them out there and saw the Tesla out there, and I kind of introduced myself and anyway, just started chatting with him. Anyway, Coop was gracious enough to let me test drive this Tesla.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And I work with a horsepower combustible, fuel every day. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, man, that thing's badass.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
very cool.
Yeah,
Have you been in it yet?
No. I'm scared I wouldn't be able to get out of it. That would be the problem.
But it's a badass car. I mean, it's got this full, double, triple iPad-sized screen. You can do all customization to it. I mean,
wow.
it is badass. I mean,
very cool.
He put it on the NASCAR mode and let me just
what?
Yeah.
There's a NASCAR mode?
Well, it started out insane mode.
Yeah.
And then it went to the ludicrous mode.
Yeah. I'm talking about 0 to 60 in probably
2, 3 or something like that.
It's crazy. I mean, it is.
You got to feel it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Luckily, I wore my brown pants that day.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good.
With the stain right around the crotch area already.
It is pre-stained, yeah.
Very nice.
But no, it's a nice car. Man, amazing technology. It should be interesting to see where that ends up in a few years.
Yeah. By the way, my wife was like, we should buy one. I'm like, no. How can we afford that?
It's only $5,000 a month.
Only.
If you put $10,000 down. Sorry.
I'll wait for you to find one at auction. How about that? So you dribble across America.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first started running marathons, I wasn't dribbling.
Right. But that would be tough.
Being a basketball fan, growing up in Southern Indiana, you it's in your veins, right? And you're from Kentucky. It's you know what I'm talking about.
I understand.
So on 11/11/11.
Okay.
That's Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. But do you remember what game was played on that day?
I don't.
Okay, it was between the University of Michigan State and the University of North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was Tom
Izzo.
Tom Izzo.
Mm-hmm. Good coach, by the way.
Yep. And it was played on the flight deck of the USS Carl Vinson.
Okay.
It's Coronado Island. And there's 1,500, no tickets sold to public, 1,500 given to each university, and the rest for our military, the active and veterans.
Okay.
And President Obama's going to be on this ship. So you're not scalping a ticket to get aboard this thing. Your name is printed on it, and the last 4 digits of your driver's license, or you're not boarding. So Quicken Loans was sponsoring this event, and they were giving away tickets on Facebook and Twitter. Why? The question we had to all answer is, why do you deserve to be on this ship? Well, how can you answer that?
Right.
You don't deserve it over each other, right?
Right.
So about 2 weeks before the event, I flew up to D.C. and I got entered into the Marine Corps Marathon. It's a very popular one that everybody tries to get in and wants to run, like New York City also. But so I got in this marathon, and I'm running this thing, and I'm about mile 3, and they're handing me my water, and I look over, and I see a school and a basketball goal, and the light bulb goes off.
You have a lot of light bulbs going on.
I need a basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, the light bulbs just keep popping. So they look at me, of course, like I've got 3 heads. You're running a marathon. Get out there and keep going. Yeah. What do you need that for? So I go on about my way. Mm-hmm. And you've been up to see the monuments at D.C.?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So you know about when you get up there, all the tourists are around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there's a young kid pulling a rickshaw. Another idea, another light bulb. This kid's local. he might just know where we can get one.
Okay.
So I will go up to him. I say, I'm running this marathon. I got a $20 bill in my pocket. Any chance we can get a basketball somewhere you can find? He thought a minute. He's like, I think we probably can. So he took the challenge. We changed phone numbers. He went to go get the ball. He brought it back to me. And I dribbled for the first time the last 11.11 miles of that marathon.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, everybody was asking me questions. I was passing to the participants and passing to the spectators, and it was really a fun deal.
Very cool.
But all the questions I got along the way, more light bulbs went off. Mm-hmm. Being from Indiana, I broke every light in my mother's house as a child, and she still loved me even though I broke them all.
Right.
But it came natural.
Mm.
So what looked hard to them was very natural to me. And I'm not a fast runner.
Okay.
I just kind of jog along.
Mm.
But they thought that this was hard, so it gave me a reason to be slow.
Oh, okay.
So that's but I didn't get the Quicken Loans tickets from that.
No.
Where it got me to was the Marine Corps Scholarship Fund Foundation was able to make the highest donation and got on the ship.
Oh, okay.
And ever since then, it's been dribble. But back to the race across the USA that Darren had the vision for.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, if you want me on this team, I'm going to be dribbling a basketball. And he's like, what? You're not going to make it, but okay, we're going to let you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he followed me pretty well. So that was the first, it was 10 out of 11 days, 267 miles from Huntington Beach to Parker, Arizona. And I dribbled an official Maui Invitational game ball.
Oh, my God.
I know, because I don't just like,
You go big or go home,
we go
right?
big or go home.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've been to the Maui Invitational yet.
No.
One of the greatest, not one of, I think it is, for me personally, the greatest sporting event on the planet.
Really?
Yes. And I would give up going to the Final Fours or going – I'd give up about every event to go to that. And I've been a fixture there since 2004 was my first year. But let's see, let's go back to where we was –
You're in Arizona dribbling.
Right. I get the ball you donate and take a ball from there every year, and I wanted to dribble with the leather ball. It made it all the way, but it was I still got it, but it's not going another mile.
Sure.
Look like Wilson from that movie. So,
yeah.
My question is, do you ever hit a rock and it just like flies out somewhere?
I get that often, and no.
Wow.
It doesn't happen like that, and I don't know why it stays, but it stays real close to me. When I went all the way across, I was somewhere going through Iowa or something, and I was in a small neighborhood, and it got away from me. But very rare does it ever get away from me. Now, when I start these marathons and you're walking up with all these people and they're looking at you like, what's this guy's at the basketball? Almost always without fail, I'll start in the very back out of respect for all the other runners. They don't know me.
Right.
They don't know that. I mean, I don't want them to think that they're going to trip and fall or something.
Sure.
So we just stay back there out of kind of, but no, we didn't lose any going all the way across. We haven't lost any yet.
Do you carry extras just in case? Like one goes flat?
One extra.
One extra.
Or he just finds the closest rickshaw driver and he can just, here's a 20 spot.
We have found a good, one of the best balls right now is, it's the Under Armour.
Oh.
And I've dribbled about every brand there is. And when you factor in all the different temperatures.
Yeah.
This one dribbles the best.
There's no deflate gate going on here at this point, right? So just to be clear. Okay. All right.
Strange question. I wonder if nitrogen would work better in these ball versus oxygen, because they do tires with nitrogen now. Yeah. So I'm just kind of curious.
We might have to check it out.
I think I see a light bulb going on.
Another light bulb.
Hey, there it is.
My wife happens to work for Adidas, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get you an Adidas ball.
Yeah.
Actually,
I believe that Maui Invitational ball was Adidas.
Oh, really?
It was.
Wow.
But that was leather, and I don't think they're sponsoring anymore.
Well, you're going to have to.
because
You're
they're
going to start
too busy.
wearing. You're going to start wearing Adidas apparel and hashtagging Adidas in.
We will.
Jesse, and that way maybe you guys can become an influencer for Adidas and get the free hookup. So
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, they'll pay players. Might as well
Because you
pay
remember
Jeff.
our sketch
Yeah.
became an influencer with Adidas in Houston.
Yeah.
And he was just a white boy writing articles on Christian hip hop and has a very big following on that with his Adidas apparel. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of. I was going to say Adidas, but your wife works for Adidas, so
It pays the bills.
Well, it pays the bills and it pays players. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, that's where I was going with that.
So you want to back up and let's go. The original vision for that Tesla was when the whole team was going across the country, and then when I don't know if I told you yet, but my mother became ill during that time.
Oh no!
And while the team was going across, I also had to make a big decision. I mean, this was a year planning, and Coop doesn't live much on planning. It's spur of the moment stuff. But SpaceX had bought 2 more big robots that were going to land in the middle of this cross country with the team. So I had to make the decision of playing Forrest Gump and running with them, leaving SpaceX hanging, and also leaving the financials on the table. So we were able to dribble across to Arizona.
Okay.
And then we let the team go. And then I went back and got the projects done and then kind of rejoined the team sparingly across the country. But at the same time, sadly, my mother became ill and I was flying back and forth from L.A. to Indy, spending time with her. But then when she passed, I knew that I had to pick up that ball and dribble it across the country. And we also needed to have that Tesla where people could donate and enter at that time, but it didn't happen that way. Even though we got across the country, once we finished, I came back and I said, I know the purpose of this car.
Yeah.
And it's not my car. It's the car to help the people. Some way we have to figure out a way to get this launched.
Okay.
And pretty much everything we do on the dates is significant. So we launched it after I finished on Mother's Day. And so 2 years, it was going on 2 years this Mother's Day. So that's how I said it'll be 30 months time we get to October. But when I dribbled across the USA, we started on 7-3. Who in their right mind is going to start dribbling through the desert the hottest time?
Not me.
No, me neither.
Also, holiday with holiday traffic, too.
But Mom was she was 73.
Okay.
Oh,
And that's why that date happened. But the ending came to me before the beginning. So the ending was the New York City Marathon. I had really no excitement to do that, but I knew I was supposed to do it, so that's where the ending was going to be. And then the rest, we just backtracked, and it all fell into place. The ending actually ended up at the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
So we went across, we ran New York City, and after we went on up, and what date did we end on? 11/11.
Oh. So you're telling me you decided I'm going to run cross country, and then just to finish it up, I'm going to throw in the New York City Marathon just for fun.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
And
he doesn't stop, kids.
But you got to, after running all those miles, I was in the best shape of my life.
I would hope so.
when I got there. And prior to the New York City Marathon, I had never dribbled and broke 5 hours. At the New York City Marathon, we made 4:45.
Wow.
Oh, so you were tearing
it up.
letting it eat.
But
Wow.
running through the 5 boroughs, there's so much fans up there that the support is. You want to go do it again.
You didn't see an In-N-Out burger there by chance, just laying on the ground, did you?
I did not, but man, I would have stopped for it, especially the grilled onions.
Oh yeah, how about you?
So, how many pairs of shoes do you go through running across
a good
America?
That's a great question, and I say I went through 7 shoes and 7 basketballs, but there were point in times when I actually had loafers on because my feet had swollen so much. And, you know, I got dehydrated and desalted in Kingman, Arizona. Sure. And I had my crew with me, and they weren't really crew. And I don't know if you've probably not crewed for a bad. Have you ever heard of the Badwater Ultra Marathon? They started
in Mexico.
Just in Mexico. They start at the bottom of Death Valley, and they run. They just ran it, and they run up to the base of Mount Whitney.
Wow,
it's 135 miles.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they just finished. They run it in July.
Oh.
Anyways, I got to Kingman, and I walked under my own feet into the emergency room. And
where was your team at this point?
Yeah, she walked with me.
Okay.
Yeah, and we walked in there, and the doc, he's looking at me, and he's like, you know, what's going on here, and what are you doing? And I'm telling him, and he's like, dude, how old are you? I said, well, I'm 50. He said, well, I'm a runner, and I'm 32. And there's not a chance that I'd be doing what you're trying. What are you thinking? I'm like, well, it's just you got to do something. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Just a regular standard marathon, the toll it takes on your body is quite drastic. I mean, your kidneys take a plunge. You become severely dehydrated. Your heart, you know, can become enlarged for a shortened period of time. It's going to be brutal, taxing on your body. Then you add back to back to back like that days.
Yeah. So let me share a little bit more with you on the marathon. So if it was just the elite runners that were out there running, they couldn't financially put these events on. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they extend the time, and they give you an 8-hour cutoff to finish.
Okay.
We can walk that and finish.
Okay.
So that's my point. My point is I may sleep a couple extra hours, let the whole marathon team, not the team, but everybody that's running, let them go on, and then I'll start and finish right at the end of the 8 hours by starting 2 hours later.
Gotcha.
But, I mean,
it's 25 miles.
26.2.
26.2 miles per day. Is that?
Yeah. And we went ahead and rounded it up to 30.
Wow.
Just for fun. Just for fun.
There's probably a reason why there, too.
Good.
Look, my cardiologist, he ran 5 marathons in 5 days to bring awareness to our transplant center. His poor legs. I saw, because I had to do an article on him for our newsletter at the transplant center. His poor legs.
Goodness.
I should have been there standing on the sidelines cheering him on with a Gatorade jug full of pickle juice, you know, for the electrolytes, but I wasn't. But man, I can't imagine, man. I can't imagine doing that many miles, walking, skipping, crawling. I mean, I just couldn't imagine doing that many miles a day.
I would be frustrated just driving cross country, much less having to walk.
Right. I hear that often. They don't even want to drive 50 miles.
No.
Look, I get pissed walking from the parking lot inside of a Krispy Kreme waiting on my hot dozen. So I couldn't imagine doing that.
You're so mad.
I am.
Oh, goodness. So, so you have the 100-Mile Foundation and the 100-Mile Club. Tell us more. How is that impacting people?
Well, it's impacting the youth and the kids. And the way the vision started was she couldn't keep her kids, you know, focused in the classroom. And she noticed that when she got them outside recess or whatever, took them out a little bit, and helped them, you know, on their focus of their classroom and also on their fitness.
God, it's got to be huge now, the fitness. I mean, kids are so used to just being inside all day long. I mean, they don't get outside and ride the bicycles and rough and tumble anymore.
No, it's all the video games.
Yeah. My kids are guilty of it too.
So, what specifically, maybe like the foundation, it's going to help the kids with the 100-Mile Club, the 100-Mile Challenge? Is that Is that how that's working? Like the kids will run the 100 miles. Foundation provides them the medals and the awareness and that type of.
Yeah, and that's the first one. There's several other organizations.
Okay.
I mean, I've been told, Coop, you need to focus and just help one organization. Well,
it's not hard to do that.
It's hard to do that. So there's others like the Urban Surf for Kids. What do?
Yeah.
They take foster kids to the ocean for the first time in their lives.
Wow.
And they teach them how to surf, and they interact different times with police officers, firemen, and different things like that.
Wow.
So, and that's in San Diego and Daytona Beach.
Yeah, the UNC Men's Health.
UNC Men's Health.
Yeah.
That has just all came about, and with Dr. Eric Wallen, and they're trying to help men of my age and whatnot take better care of their bodies.
Yeah.
Go in and get the checkup. They most of us, unless we're dying, we don't go in and do that. So that's what this men's is all about.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no male privilege when it comes to health. So guys out there, get your annual checkups and
turn your head and cough.
Yeah, turn your head and cough. Yeah. It's one time a year, I guess, right? So it's been a while.
You're not playing your cards right. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. But yeah, you got to go check. I mean, how many people we've known have not followed up with checkups here lately that have just had something catastrophic happen? So it's definitely good for that.
Yeah.
And you also, I think, another organization called For the Kids. Is that
Carolina For the Kids? Yeah, they're famous for doing the dance marathon each year, but it was unique to get involved with them because it's ran by the students of the university.
I like that.
And I do too. And that's kind of we started out with being $77.73 to enter.
Oh, nice.
And once we got involved with the Carolina For the Kids and they were test driving the car and they were seeing it, the vision was, they all want the car.
Sure.
But the student isn't they can't afford $77. So we brought it down to $17 so that if they wanted their chance, they could everybody have the right opportunity.
That's awesome. Now, one thing I really appreciate about guys like yourself that start things and try to provide funds to places you feel your heart pulled to. I mean, we've talked on this podcast many times, especially from my point of view, government can't solve problems. It's these nonprofits out there that are filling the gap, like the Urban Surf Kids.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing? They're actually taking kids as part of the system and mentoring them.
Yeah.
Man, how powerful is that? That's the organizations that will have impact on these kids' lives for years to come. I mean, who knows? Taking a kid out and putting on a surfboard could probably stop a cycle of absurdity that's been in this kid's lifeline all its life and stops it.
Sure.
I mean, I just admire organizations like that. Yeah. So, man, you people out there wonder what you can do. 7773 or foundation.org and just go drop a few bucks.
Let's not forget about the Trips for Kids here down in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, they take the youth out on the bike rides on the weekends.
Okay.
So that's another one that's close to home
what's
here.
What's the name of the organization?
Trips for Kids.
Trips for Kids.
Yep.
And what kind of bikes?
Well, they have the bikes that they rebuild. They're all donated.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right.
We need to check these guys out.
Yeah, no doubt. Very cool. Wow. So many things, and all these light bulbs are just popping off. What are some of the things that, like, I'm sure there's organizations that you're just like, maybe I can't take anymore. Like, you've got so much on your plate now, but it feels like you're just doing whatever you can and whatever organization you can help.
Yeah, mainly, I mean, it took me a long time to understand about donating my money and giving my money away and knowing that once I've made the decision, like whatever it is, if it's March of Dimes or whatever your St. Jude, once you donate it, that's it. You've done your part. And I don't have to watch anything else. I just go do another part somewhere else. So how did I solve that? I went and started meeting the CEO of all these organizations. I got to the root of it. I got involved. I hung out with them. I run marathons with them. I went and acted with the kids with them, and that's how you know.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, there's so many organizations out there, and I'm telling you right now, I'm just like our great friend Gwen with Amazing Grace.
Yeah,
I mean, does tremendous things out there that the larger body politique of Cabarrus County where we're at, they couldn't handle what she does.
Yeah.
But it takes private organizations doing that, and these guys are funded by guys like yourself or other people that just may not have an opportunity to go dribble basketball or across country, or may not have the smarts like me, like I don't have, to go play poker for charity or anything like that, because I would lose all the charitable funds. But these organizations, these organizations and guys like you that are the vehicle that support them. I mean, hats off to you. I'm not just trying to blow smoke up, but there is a new organization called Teslas for Brandon. So if you guys want to go donate to that, well, that's going to be on his website.
It's called our Patreon link. What are you talking about? So can we, I'm sure our listeners may not know, how did you get involved with Tesla, and because you work for them, correct?
Well, how it happened, I put in the CNC robots for an Italian company.
Now, what's a CNC robot?
Computer numerical controlled. And there's three forms of robots. And most of the times, back in our day, we think of R2-D2.
Right.
And that's the highest form. Okay. And then you have the lowest form, which is
my vacuum cleaner. Yeah. I got it. Okay.
The Cartesian 5 is what I work on. And it's basically just a bunch of steel with some servo drives on it and a computer NC control to it. And you program what you want it to cut and trim and whatnot.
Okay. All right.
So I've installed these all over the world. That's all I've done my whole life. And so the companies call in, they order these, and then I just get the orders to go put them in.
Okay.
So I got to tell you a funny story, though.
Sure.
The Tesla engineers did all the legwork on the machines that we put in.
Okay.
And they called up and they said, this is what we want. This is what we need. And, okay, they didn't want the salesman to come in. They already had it done.
Sure.
And so anyways, I wasn't in the meetings, but right across that's the Tesla R&D in Hawthorne, and right across the street is SpaceX. And so those engineers over there got wind that, and the two don't interact. They don't intermix.
Sure.
But they got wind that there's going to be a CNC robot going in over there.
Okay.
So somebody went back up to Elon and said, well, we hear there's a robot going on over there. And basically, like I said, I wasn't in the meeting.
Right.
But you can just tell what it was. Is, what's more important here?
Right.
The rockets or the cars?
Right. Mm-hmm. You want one, we want one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elon comes back to the sales guys, his team, Elon's team, and says, we got good news and bad news.
Uh-huh.
The good news is we need another machine. The bad news is we got to change all the serial numbers for the legality because the Tesla's public and SpaceX is private.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm unloading the robot at SpaceX right across the street with the Tesla guys sitting there watching it. And I knew when I unloaded it that I saw it and I'm like, this doesn't look like the right design.
No.
So I called up the office. I said, what's going on here? This doesn't look like it's going to be beefy enough. And sure enough, that's when I got that whole story. That's what happened, that Tesla's machine went in SpaceX first.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but it all worked out great because you wait a little bit and you get a newer model.
Yeah.
So it all worked out well.
Wow.
They're communicating like West Germany and East Germany. Just that borderline and just looking at each other across the fence there, I guess.
Or the House and the Senate, either way.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha.
Wow. What an amazing story, man. What else you got for us?
Oh, man.
Some inside baseball. What do we got?
inside baseball.
Yeah.
What other information? What else you got going? Any other future plans you got besides this? You leave out here soon and going to go across country. Anything else you got planned? Because you obviously got some light bulbs planning, right? Maybe you concocted something with Elon Musk, and you're going to be the first guy dribbling a ball on the moon or Mars.
Dribbling the ball on the moon.
That would be legit.
No, actually, I've heard him give a few speeches, and I don't hang out with Elon. I think he's pretty busy, but
it'd be my luck. I'd be nominated for that guy. The first. When they launched the car in space, I'd be the test dummy in the sea. Yeah. That's what I'd be elected for that. So. Yeah.
No, we actually the vision is about 18 months here, and then we're going to go back from east to west across the country as far as we can go, get that done, and then right after that we'll rest a little bit. And the plan is to turn around and come back again, and we're going to these cities that are going to be playing in the Maui Invitational. That's how the points are laid out.
Man, not going to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Cal hates that.
He does.
Invitation. Why?
I don't know why.
It's so frustrating.
It is frustrating.
I think he's scared of the spam. He doesn't like eating the spam
Maybe
in Hawaii.
That's what it is. You think so?
Could be.
Cal will not go.
Maybe because he secretly wears coconut bras and he just don't want to show everybody up over there.
You keep talking and we'll go fisticuffs, my friend. All right, but that's very cool. So all the cities that are playing in the Maui, you're going to go visit those.
Yeah, like I said, I've been a fixture over there. You can't get anything anymore. Every time I go to Maui, there ends up a lifetime relationship made.
That's awesome.
And to go there, and it's very intimate. There's only about 2,200 seats in that gymnasium.
Small, yeah.
And everybody is themselves. They can all be themselves. And so anyways, we're going to use that to help raise as well.
Very cool.
Man.
Wow.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to phone in a couple times with us. We'd love to get updates with you on along the way.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And just keep in touch with you and do that because I'm sure our listeners, because especially some of our international listeners, they love to kind of hear what's going on with here stateside. So I would love to be able to call in and
we will.
Yeah, figure out how to get in touch with you and get some updates.
I got that. I keep the headset on while I'm out there dribbling, and I'd get calls while I was coming across from.
I don't know how you do it. I get out of breath walking down the stairs, not up the stairs, but down the stairs here.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know how you do it.
No, and I can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. So put us together, we may be able to do something.
Well, hold on. You're pulling the rickshaw when I'm with me and looking for a $20 basketball.
Well, I got one other thing I can share with you. It's I'm dribbling one ball, right?
Oh, no.
There's a guy named Jerry Knox out of Chino Hills that holds the world record for not just dribbling one, the fastest in a marathon, but dribbling two, the fastest.
Nope.
Then there's another guy in down by Florida. His name's Dr. Dribble. And he broke Jerry's record up in Seattle. This was a couple of years ago. And so anyways, I've got a friend. I was invited to run down in the San Diego Marathon. Well, Jerry and Dr. Dribble are going to go head-to-head and face off down there.
It's a face-off.
I'd never dribbled two balls before. So I'm like, how? And these guys could literally outrun me dribbling two while I'm dribbling one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't let that happen.
No.
So what do? We take two balls and we dribble, and we almost killed ourselves.
Sure.
I mean,
right.
Luckily I had on gloves, and I can't remember what mile it was, 5 or 6. But I didn't do a face plant, but I did a hand plant. We saved ourselves.
Oh, my gosh.
But we got up and we finished, I forget what it was, 6.5 hours or something. But it's the last time that I'm going to dribble two at one time.
I don't blame you. See, I could probably run and eat a bag of Lay's potato chips. That's probably about all I could do at the same time. I couldn't do the dribble ball thing. So,
Good gracious. I can't even imagine. Do your hands ever start just...
People always ask me about that, but they don't bother me one bit. Mm. And sometimes I wear gloves. It depends on the weather and the temperature, whether you wear gloves or not.
Well, man, we pray for your ventures and as far as good weather and everything like that. Hopefully no freak storms come up on your path and...
Yeah, the first time we came across it was a race and a deadlines and all this. We're going to do more casual, and we did run through the rain and all that, but we're not going to do so much of that this time.
Yeah.
Does your team look at the weather forecast of the upcoming day and be like, hey, there's like dangerous weather that's coming up. We should probably hold off.
Yeah, we do. Actually, we do check a little bit of that.
Yeah. You don't want to be running in the middle of a hurricane or a tornado or anything like that.
Right. And I want to circle back again and tell you that the ultimate goal and vision that we see it's just not about Coop out there dribbling a basketball. I mean, I've done that. It's about more than that. It's about dribbling into different cities and getting set up an organization where the kids can come out and interact, and we can dribble a 5K or whatnot. So that's what we're working on for 2020.
Wow.
So the course that we're going to start in San Fran, and Stanford, and then it goes down to UNLV.
Okay.
And then Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And then Alabama, and then up to Indiana. Yeah. Indiana, and then Davidson's in it.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Davidson's going.
So we're getting booked that for 2020 now.
2020.
Yeah.
We got IU, North Carolina, and Davidson all there.
Wow.
So, anyways, the vision we're working, because they have once you go over on, I believe it's on Sunday, they have the Maui Invitational 5K right there.
Okay.
And the vision that Coop is seeing is to run a 5K in each of these cities as we come across the country.
Awesome.
Wow. Very cool.
And interact with the kids there.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
That's very cool.
The cool thing would be, because the passion I have for basketball, ideally, every kid that comes to run would get a basketball.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, maybe we can see if we help be a part of making that happen too.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That'd be very cool.
Wow.
What's been the best state that you've gone through? Like just scenery or experience or...
You know, there's many of those.
Okay.
But I've got to share this story with you, because doing this show with you would not do justice without telling you about when we went through New Mexico.
Okay.
I woke up one morning and we were at an abandoned, desolate gas station. It was kind of like a scene that I was going to see, 20 years into the future when we got all these electric cars and the gas stations don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
My crew was sleeping, and I got up early, and I went out, and these two little pups were meeting me out the door, and I didn't think anything about it. About 5-6 weeks old. I took off. Nobody around. I'm dribbling right down the double yellow line, and they start following me. And I keep on going. I'm looking, and they're going. They're just having fun, messing around. And I get up. I see a little motel with a little restaurant on it. I'm hungry. Let me go in and get something to eat. I go in, get filled up and whatnot, and I come out, and one of those pups is still sitting there looking for food, water, and love.
Oh, no.
And so I'm like, I got to go back in and get the food. And so I brought it back out, got it fed up, and loved it, and I took off again.
Mm-hmm.
Go back, I look, about mile 9, they're still there. I keep going, about mile 16, my sister comes up and is bringing me my food and water again, and that pup is still there.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, man, that pup is fighting for its life. And neither one of us really wanted a dog, but that dog earned a ride.
Yeah.
And we were on the Navajo Indian Reservation at the time. So you got to guess what we named the dog? Navajo.
Yeah, it's a good, appropriate name, yeah.
Yeah, so then we went up to Four Corners, and Navajo was sick, and she's probably born in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
And it took until we got to Kansas to get her nursed back to life, teach her how to lead with the leash, and then she took off and she would run, and she ran 30 miles with me.
Oh, wow.
Every day, all the way across.
Wow.
So now Navajo has a home in Indiana.
Oh, wow.
So we did the whole country with Navajo almost. So to do it without the dog, we're wondering which rescue dog is coming next.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you never know.
That is cool.
Interesting segue to next time you're in New Mexico, get you some Navajo fry bread.
Yeah.
Some delicious food there. Some good carbs for you.
Heck yeah.
I would be amiss. Like, you mentioned, like, you went into like a little restaurant.
Yep.
What happens if like your stomach just turns halfway through?
You know what?
Pray to hope it doesn't.
It's when you start this run, walk, jogging, and whatnot. It's mind over, and you just block it out. There is no pain. It doesn't matter if you've got 5, 6, 7 blisters on your feet. You just keep going.
Keep going.
Just don't run in the Mexican food restaurant or
Right.
get some Taco Bell.
But if you had my sister here and she'd tell you after mile 20, my brain gets a little bit distorted. I start going down the wrong path.
I imagine. Wow.
Wow. Well, good. Well, that's amazing. What an amazing story. Amazing heart that you're doing this for the kids.
Yeah.
and
Well,
for
thanks
the
for allowing us to be able to share part of your story here.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it going.
We appreciate you having us here.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, like I said, be sure you make sure you check in. We'd love to check your progress and share along with our listeners here. So,
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again,
yeah,
Coop.
man. Thanks, Coop.
Yep.
Hey, once again, we thank Coop for coming in from the 7773 Foundation. Just go check out his website at 7773foundation.org. Yeah, you can also check him out on Instagrams and Facebook. Yeah, we just really appreciate that. What an inspiring story. Hope you keep following up with him. As far as our listeners, please go to our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. You can also check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you download a podcast. Just check us out there at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can go to our Instagram and Twitters at SFP Radio. You're getting great at actually putting some stuff on there. Me, not so much. I don't even know if I have the login code.
Yeah, but you've got the good Facebook posts.
Yeah, sometimes. Depends if I offend someone, which is pretty easily done. But, yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And in honor of my donor, I always challenge you to please go register to be an organ donor because you can save someone's life. Even though you may be a turd in this life, you can actually save someone's life after you may not be here any longer. So in honor of my donor, Jamie, and his mother, Lisa, I just appreciate the guys who have actually done that. You can change a life. And in fact, one of our close friends of the show, Leanne, is no longer with us from Southern Grace Distillery, and she actually saved 3 lives here in North Carolina. So thank you, Leanne, and your legacy will live on, and we'll be eternally grateful for that.
Yeah. As always, keep looking up. And next week we have Cities for Life, so you'll want to tune in for that. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast.